Well, I think tonight, that last outing here, he was starting to throw a cut fastball that we didn't know that he had, and for us today, we were prepared for it. And he made a mistake. I mean, we had some good at bats, got on him early. Corey legging out in infield, a fielder's choice, and obviously that ball that Puig hit got a ball out over, and that homer was a big load, off our shoulders. And then right there, we felt we had momentum, and Kenta, does what he does and competed for 5 innings and put us in a situation to win a baseball game. But up and down, they were great defensive plays, and I think that. There's been a lot of talk about us against left-handed pitching, so it was good for us to break out tonight.
Do you think it's almost like just mentally good for the team to do this against a lefty and just sort of prove to themselves they're capable of doing it?
I think so. And I think that the confidence really from our guys hasn't wavered, but that's a very good club over there, and so for us to break out against a left-hander, I think that it definitely adds to the confidence in our guys. But obviously with Yasiel, what he can do, what he did defensively, what he can do with the bat, he's a game changer. And so again, there was a lot of great at bats all throughout the game, and the base running, what Howie did on the bases, really was big for us as well.
What's the level of satisfaction coming out of this series with winning the series and being 6 up with 10 to go?
I think that if you look at this series, and for us to come out and win this series, that's our goal, to go out there and win series, and we did that against a very good ball club. So I think we've put ourselves in a pretty good spot. But we want to continue to keep pressing on, and we're in a good place. But we can always get better.
You talk about Yasiel. You can see even in the clubhouse, he seems to feel or look like he's in a better place right now. How important is it to see what he's doing out there on the field right now?
It's important. I think it starts with the buy-in and the unselfishness. He talks about being a better teammate, and when you're not in the lineup every day, there's some sacrifice, and a lot of guys in that clubhouse are making sacrifices. So I think that that's number one, and so he's in a good place mentally, and for him to get rewarded on the field and see his teammates embrace him and support him, obviously that feels good. And so at this point in time, it's about, I think we got 39 guys in the clubhouse, all with one common goal, and that's to win baseball games. So, like I said before, we're playing some pretty good baseball right now.
His teammates were quick to support him on Monday night. Did that play into anything at all, that he can just see that?
You know what? I think even prior to that, there's a lot of, caring for one another and unselfish with everyone. But I think that, I think that when you see something happen that you didn't instigate and you see the whole team come to your defense, I think that's got to feel, you feel that support. But, but he's a heck of a player, and, I can't say enough good things about him.
You look just as confused as we did when Bochy kind of emptied his base there and he came out to talk to you up 2 different times. What was that conversation?
It was just Manny and I trying to get on the same page. There was a little confusion with the changes in the card, and I wanted to make sure it was right. I know Manny wanted to make sure the card was right. So, that's kind of all that was.
How did you see?
He has 4 home runs this month, all against lefties. What has he changed in his swing to be more dangerous, more effective now?
He's done some things mechanically. But I think that, when he elevates the baseball, and even, that last at bat, he flew out to, right center field. But when he elevates the ball with his strength, good things are going to happen. I think that when he gets in trouble, he's a little too quick with his front side and pulls the baseball on the ground. So he and the hitting coaches have worked on some things mechanically, but I like his direction. He's not closed off on the front side as much, and he's getting to a lot of pitches that he wasn't prior. But I think it goes back to what we've talked about all year is, taking balls and swinging at strikes, and that's what he's doing.
How did you see Maeda and Ruiz battery?
You know what? I think initially it was a little kind of trying to get familiar with one another. But, Chooch is a veteran player, and he's a very good receiver and catcher. And so I know that Kenta trusts him. So they got through that first couple innings. But, I think Kenta initially was being a little too fine on the edges. But once he got in his groove, he was doing his thing.
What about Toles? I mean, it just seems like you have so much confidence in him, and he's got confidence in himself to come off the bench and just keep doing what he's doing.
I think, it's a part of it is there's a skill set there. There's an ability to impact the game in a lot of different ways. There's also a little bit of naivete. There's also a little bit of fearlessness. So, accepting whatever situation I put him in, he accepts it. And you know what? He just never ceases to amaze. And that was a big hit right there, and I think that when you can get a hit like that to extend the lead, it changed the way you use the bullpen and guys you would use or wouldn't use. And so that was a big hit. But, yeah, Andrew has really opened all of our eyes.
There's a word quality start, definition 6 innings. But Kenta's 5 innings right now so valuable for your team.
It is. And I think that especially with our pen that I have a lot of confidence in. And so for us, it's about winning baseball games. And it doesn't matter who gets the win, how deep you go. And it's been a collective effort for all of us all year long. And so for Kenta to take the ball, stay healthy, and make his starts has been invaluable.
Chooch was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Are we going to see him more down the stretch with Yaz's shoulder and more lefties coming?
I think so. We got a lot of lefties coming, and it's one of those things where I try to keep guys relevant and sharp. And so, Chooch, I trust him behind the plate. I trust him at the plate. And so just the way he conducts at bats and for him to get a couple hits, score a couple runs, it seems like, coaching against him and seeing him from the other side, he does a lot of things to help teams win. And even when he's not playing, he's right there watching baseball games, helping his teammates out in any capacity. So, yeah, Yazi's our number one catcher, but we expect a lot more baseball, so it's important for me to get Chooch involved, keep him involved.